if it's actually deceptive, then they should be dealt with under the Deceptive Practices Act, which already exists. Otherwise, you get back to Senator McConkey's point, which is like, if people know this and this is the bargain that they make, isn't that their choice?
To your point, we believe them to be deceptive, and this is the approach that we're taking to handle that deception, rather than doing it on a case-by-case basis. It's not that the individual gets to make the choice, it's that the individual's physician makes the recommendation, and as long as that is compliant with generally accepted medical standards, the insurance company has to cover it.
And do we have an estimate of, I remember the last few years, we've been passing these additional mandates, which, as you know, when we pass mandates onto the fully insured plans, those mandates go on to the state of Illinois plan as well. And we've said that when we've passed these mandates, we said there's not much cost. Well, obviously this year, when COGFA did their report, the state's insurance plan this year went up $463 million, 14% increase, bringing our state's cost to about a little over $10,000 per body insured. So, which was 3 times higher than the national trend for health cost increases. So the mandates that we've put on clearly impacted the premiums. Now, that doesn't affect the state of Illinois employees because, of course, they're under a contract and their rates are inexpensive, $200-300 a month. But for the small employers and for the employees that are having to pay literally $3,000 a month for a Blue Cross $1,000 deductible policy, affordability is becoming a huge problem for individuals.
At this time, the department can look at it and say, that's not actuarially sound. And then they say, that's not good. And then the company has to put it on their website. And it's a for shame situation. That's the...
Okay, I get it. So if they're not, you review them, and if you don't think that they're sound, the carrier's required to put that on their site that they don't think that's sound.
Yeah, but they can still sell the plan.
Right, they still sell it.
Right.
But they're required to put that on the site. So, yeah. And how many times do they have to put that? How many times have we had that on the site?
I think it's only happened once.
Careful. So it's only happened once. So we've reviewed all the rates historically, and it's only happened one time that you didn't agree with the rates. Then so you're just saying that over the history, you reviewed the rates, and you've only found one time that a carrier's rates were not actuarially sound, and they were required to post it on their site.
No, I wouldn't say there's only one time when we have found them to not be sound, but there's one time when the company has refused to make any changes, and then it went to that point.
Okay.
There's an exchange of information back and forth. That's just part of what happens.
Right.
Okay. And how does this make this different? How does this law now change that, since you already go back and forth now? Before they were shamed, but now the difference is, instead of shaming them, you can just deny.
They can't sell it.
That we can.
But it's only happened one time where you haven't reached an agreement. So
it should be pretty easy to get going.
Ladies and gentlemen of the House, there was a reason that this piece was pulled back from the larger health care package, which I was very happy to support. And as Leader Kiker said, there's just a little more work that is needed on perfecting what should be the right approach to these short-term duration plans. There are issues with these plans, but there's further work needed in the state of Illinois to operationalize our exchange. As the previous speaker was showing, we may be creating some unintended pricing pressures in different directions. So there's a reason that this piece needs a little more work, and that is the reason I will be urging a no vote.
To give us better options for those who need it most when they're in between jobs. We've done a lot to protect consumers in the health insurance marketplace, and this is absolutely going to take us in the right direction. For those who need it most, who have been scammed by these predatory plans, today with this vote, we can end that today.